Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? You pour all this energy into making great TikToks, these really engaging short videos, and then you think, okay, how can I make this work count for more, like especially on Instagram? And look, if you're trying to give your social profiles a bit of an edge, maybe amplify that reach even more, you can check out rapid-boost.net. They've got resources for that kind of thing. But today, yeah, our focus is super sharp. We are diving deep into how to smartly repurpose your TikTok stuff for real success on Instagram. We're working from a guide that's just packed with tips, real examples too. Our aim is basically to give you the shortcut,
Yeah.
help you figure out how to maximize all that effort and grow your brand on Insta without feeling like you're just like reinventing the wheel constantly. Get ready for maybe some aha moments, hopefully, as we look at connecting what you're already doing so well on TikTok to, well, a whole new audience.
Yeah, it's a really interesting tightrope walk for creators, isn't it? You want efficiency, obviously get the most out of your work, but you also have to respect that each platform is kind of its own beast. I mean, sure, both TikTok and Instagram are visual, very visual, but how people use them, what they expect, totally different sometimes. TikTok, it often rewards that super quick, punchy, almost experimental vibe. Trends just blow up there. Instagram, well, even with Reels shaking things up, it still often leans a bit more polished, maybe. And people there might look for stuff with a bit more, I don't know, substance, like carousels.
Right. So it's definitely not a simple copy-paste job.
Yeah.
You can't just hit share and hope for the best, can you? We really need to get into the why. Why does repurposing, when you do it smartly, actually work?
Hmm.
The guide we're looking at touches on this. It says by linking these two ecosystems, thoughtfully, you can seriously widen your reach. In fact, Hootsuite actually found that repurposing video across platforms can boost reach by something like 67%.
Wow, 67%.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it just shows the potential, right, to get your message out there without having to constantly create brand new stuff from scratch.
That Hootsuite number is definitely eye-catching. And I think the key word you used is smartly or strategically.
Mm-hmm.
Because a big worry creators have is, well, what if my audience is on both? Aren't I just repeating myself? But like the guide says, good repurposing isn't just reposting. It's about taking that like raw TikTok energy and genuinely adapting it for Instagram, using Instagram's features, thinking about the audience's mindset there. Someone scrolling Reels might just be in a different headspace than someone deep in their TikTok For You page.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So let's dig into the how. The guy gives us 6 really specific strategies. The first one that kind of jumped out at me was turning TikTok tutorials into Instagram carousel guides. That feels like a super logical step for those quick how-to videos. Why do you think that clicks so well?
Well, I think it plays into how people behave on Instagram. Carousels, just by design, make people slow down a bit, right? They have to actively swipe, so that suggests they're already a bit more invested. If you take a rapid-fire TikTok tutorial and break it into clear visual steps in a carousel, you're giving that Instagram audience something more digestible, maybe more referenceable. They can pause, go back, even save the whole thing for later, which is, harder with a fast video.
Totally. Yeah, instead of just a flash, it becomes like a mini guidebook right in their feed. Using tools like Canva, maybe Adobe Express, the guide really stresses making it look good too. Branded colors, text that's easy to read quickly, eye-catching visuals. That first slide needs to make you want to swipe. And definitely ending with a clear call to action, like save this or tag us if you try it.
Exactly. And the numbers really support carousels later. The scheduling platform. They found that carousels on Instagram get way more engagement, like 1.4 times more reach and almost 3 times more engagement than just single image posts.
3 times.
Wow. Yeah, it's a big jump. It basically tells the algorithm, hey, people are spending time with this. They like it.
And there's a great example here. At Plant Queen, they turned a TikTok about plant care into an Instagram carousel. Each slide was a specific tip. And the result? They apparently doubled their save rate for that post and got way more DMs asking plant questions. It really shows how it can deepen that connection. Oh, and the guide adds a little pro tip. Maybe make a behind-the-scenes reel to go with the carousel. Kind of caters to both vibes.
Exactly. Creating like a little content ecosystem. Okay, so strategy 2 flips over to the entertainment side of TikTok. How do you take those funny clips, those trends, and remix them for Instagram Reels? Because TikTok is, trend central, sounds, dances, memes. But the guide says, rightly, that Reels, while similar, has its own distinct flavor, vibe. What should creators think about there?
Yeah, it's not just about downloading and re-uploading. There are some practical steps. First off, get rid of the TikTok watermark. Use something like SnapTik. Or you can even do it in CapCut sometimes. Makes it look cleaner on Insta. Then definitely add subtitles. Instagram's tool is pretty good for this. So many people watch without sound. And maybe trim it. The guide suggests aiming for like 25 to 45 seconds for Reels. Seems to be a sweet spot. Oh, and this is key. Think about swapping the audio. If a sound is huge on TikTok, it might not be trending the same way on Reels. Use popular Reel audio instead.
That audio point is critical. What's viral on one isn't always viral on the other. Adapting the sound really tunes it into the Instagram audience. And I like the creative idea, mentioned taking a TikTok dance, but turning it into like an Instagram Reel duet where you add commentary or react or collaborate. Adds a fresh spin. Have you seen good examples of that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen creators take a funny TikTok soundbite, but then act out a slightly different scenario for the Reel, maybe with timing that just lands better visually on Instagram.
Yeah.
And the stats back it up. Social Insider apparently found Reels using trending audio or Reels that offer some kind of value like a quick tip or just a funny take get up to 22% more engagement.
22%. That's a decent payoff for making those adjustments.
Yep.
Okay, strategy 3 moves into interactive stuff, Q&As. Taking those TikTok Q&A sessions or reply videos and turning them into Instagram stories. TikTok's features for this are great, really direct. But stories offer a different kind of space. Why are stories a good fit for this kind of repurposed content?
I think it's that in-the-moment feel. Stories feel more, I don't know, casual, authentic, less produced maybe. The guide suggests just taking a common question from your TikToks and answering it, maybe selfie style, in your stories. Could be one story, could be a few slides. And definitely use the Instagram questions sticker in your stories to keep that conversation going, get more questions rolling in right there. And then, this is smart, save the best bits to a story highlight on your profile, like an AMA or Q&A highlight, so the info doesn't just disappear after 24 hours.
Yeah, that highlight idea is really clever, gives that temporary content some lasting value, and it makes you look like the expert people can turn to. And you're right, stories do feel more intimate. They can really spark those DMs, build that closer relationship. It feels more like a direct chat.
Okay, strategy number 4 is interesting. It's about using those behind-the-scenes clips from TikTok, but for Instagram photo dumps or posts with longer captions. TikTok loves the raw, unfiltered stuff.
Yeah.
And it seems like Instagram audiences are leaning more to that authenticity too now. So how do you translate that TikTok messiness effectively?
I think the trick is figuring out what about the BTS resonates. Usually it's the process, right? The struggle, the unexpected funny bits. So a quick TikTok might just show the blooper. But on Instagram, you can give it more context. The guide suggests maybe grabbing screenshots or saving key moments from your TikTok BTS. Then make an Insta post, could be one pic, could be a carousel photo dump. And then the caption is where you really add value. Explain what happened, share what you learned, maybe make it funny, or even ask your followers if they've had similar moments.
Yeah, asking followers to share their stories, that definitely builds community. And apparently the data shows posts with more authentic, maybe slightly vulnerable captions get, on average, double the comments.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, boosts visibility and strengthens those connections.
There's a cool case study mentioned at Chefing with Chloe. She had a TikTok about a recipe fail, which got some laughs, but then she took photos of the kitchen chaos, posted them as an Instagram photo dump with a really honest caption about, the reality of cooking sometimes. That post apparently got way more engagement than her usual perfect food shots.
Yeah.
Shows the power of being real.
Absolutely. Okay, moving to number 5. Compiling TikTok series into Instagram Reels playlists. So if you've done something like a 7 days to declutter or a 30-day fitness challenge on TikTok, spreading it over multiple videos. This sounds like a great way to package it for Instagrammers who might want the whole thing. How do you make that work smoothly?
Yeah, this takes a bit more editing. You'd want to make sure each TikTok part is optimized for Reels, maybe cropping it just right, adding consistent titles like day 1, day 2, or numbering the parts visually. Then you publish them as individual reels, but make sure the captions clearly say it's part of a series. And the key step, the guide says, is creating an actual reel playlist or maybe a dedicated story highlight that puts them all in order so people can easily watch the whole sequence.
Making it bingeable. That totally makes sense. And the guide notes that Instagram's algorithm seems to like that when people watch multiple videos back to back. That extra watch time tells the algorithm your stuff is engaging, which could lead to your profile getting shown to more people. It's a smart way to attract folks who are really into that specific topic.
Exactly. It caters to the deeper dive interest. Okay, last one. Strategy 6. Extending your TikTok collaborations using Instagram takeovers. Collabs are awesome for cross-promotion on TikTok. How do you carry that energy and reach over to grow on Instagram too?
The guide has some neat ideas here. Like maybe your collaborator literally takes over your Instagram stories for a day. They could share BPS, do an exclusive Q&A just for your Insta followers, offer a different take on your shared topic. Or you could co-create a reel together that maybe summarizes your TikTok collab but is edited specifically for Instagram. Or even just do a simple duet post. You both share the same reel or carousel on your own feeds, tagging each other doubles the exposure.
That example of the two comedians at Samdos Comedy and at Laura Laughs, they did a TikTok sketch together, then followed up with an Instagram live Q&A. That feels like such a natural way to bridge the platforms. It lets them both interact directly with both communities. More engaging than just a static post, for sure, as real extra value.
Totally. Okay, so that's 6 really solid, actionable strategies. Now, to wrap things up a bit, the guide gives us a handy checklist. For listeners ready to jump in, what are the key action steps?
Right, the checklist. First big step, go back and look at your TikToks. Find your winners, the ones with the most views, likes, comments, saves, shares. Those are your best bets for repurposing because you already know they work somewhere. Then, step 2 is matching that winning content to the right Instagram format. Is it a quick tip? Reel. Is it step-by-step? Carousel. Is it a raw moment? Story or photo dump? Be thoughtful about that match.
Good point. The checklist also hammers home polishing the edit for Instagram. Lose the watermark, use Instagram's own tools, maybe definitely add subtitles, think about the ideal length, especially for Reels, and critically, tailor the captions and the calls to action.
Yeah.
What you ask people to do on TikTok might need tweaking for Instagram.
Exactly. Speak Instagram's language. And then, something people often forget, but is so important, actually look at your Instagram analytics for the repurpose stuff. See what hits, what doesn't. Which formats are working for your audience on Insta. That data is gold for refining your strategy. And finally, we'll be consistent. Keep posting. But also, keep experimenting. Don't be afraid to try different formats, different angles on your topics. Keep it fresh.
Right. So pulling it all together, what we've really dug into today is that repurposing TikTok content for Instagram is not just about being efficient, though it helps with that. It's really about creative adaptation. It's a strategic move to make your hard work go further, reach more people, and build consistency across platforms.
Yeah, and maybe the most interesting takeaway is just to shift how you think about your TikToks. Don't just see them as finished pieces. Think of them as like valuable raw material, full of potential that you can unlock for a whole different audience on Instagram. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Look at your TikTok feed right now. Which single video could you transform into something really compelling for your Instagram followers? Like today.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.